Good morning. Today is September 28th, and here's our little quote of wisdom. Your home is where your loved ones live. Your home is the place where you work together with your fellow human beings to build a paradise, a realm of peace and prosperity for all. When we are asked where our home is, we can answer, my home is the world. Everywhere in the world where my fellow human beings live, all of it is my home. That's pretty cool. Let's get started. Let's go for a run.
I met Nikola Tesla in a diner in New York. He was eating cotton candy in the dark. I sat down at his table and I asked him for a light. When his eyes met mine, I thought I felt a spark. His glance was like an x-ray and he looked me to the bone. A touch from him, my blood began to boil. It was the 24th of March, he had a really cute mustache, and then he kissed me in an alley and I felt my insides coil. Nikola Tesla, I wish you'd invent a current that could activate my heart. Mysterious jester, I do not expect you. Come back from 1932, I'll always burn a light for you.
Alright, we're trying something a little different this morning. We'll see if this works. Hopefully it does. Hopefully I'm not wasting my time. I, of course, am in a little bit of a hurry. Even though I got all my morning stuff done like I wanted to, I'm still running late. I've got an appointment for a headshot this morning. Unfortunately, if you heard the other day, my headshot studio got flooded. I haven't been back there since. So basically what I need to do is get there quick, set it up in a temporary office location, and do this headshot. And I got about 30 minutes to get all of that done, including getting there and talking to you. So, something's going on. I don't know what that noise is. Oh, this freaking BMW, it's not my phone. It's just the BMW telling me something. I don't know what. Okay, well, there we go. No messages I can see. So anyway, craziness. I do not like this car. You know what? I've realized though, I like driving the car. I love the way it handles. It does make me a little bit more aggressive when I drive because it's got a lot more handling power as far as like you can really zip around and you're confident that you know the ass isn't going to come out from behind you in this car, which is probably dangerous. I need to drive like an old man. I don't need any kind of frustration or temptation or any Asian in my life when it comes to driving. I just like to be safe. And what can you do? So, what is going on? All right. I gotta get all that stuff done. No big deal. It's like a daily occurrence for me to be running forward. As long as I'm not running backwards, I'm okay. But let's talk about last night. Let's give a little recap. So, strangest thing, we show up at the venue, the Charleston Music Hall, and I get there and my seat is directly next to my next door neighbor, who I had no idea she was going. So I thought that was funny. And the opening act was this girl named Angelica Garcia, and she got up, just her and her guitar, and I'm telling you, this girl has an amazing voice. She's quirky, but her vocal range, and she just had the stage persona of just this kind of like young, quirky girl. Just completely had the audience in the palm of her hand. She was great. Picked up this archaic thing called a CD. Come on, people, why are you making CDs? If you're gonna make a physical thing, make a vinyl. Otherwise, we're getting it digitally. And by digitally, I mean like through Spotify or iTunes or YouTube or something like that. This whole thing is a little bit silly, but I felt like supporting her because she was really good. So that was a lot of fun. And then Violent Femmes came on, and I'll tell you what, those guys still have it. They still sound just, you know, they have this loose energy, which is the way they sound on record. You know, they're not this technically amazing band. They're very talented, but they're not like trying to wow you with musical aerobics. They're just playing straight up kind of, you know, acoustic style. Not even acoustic, but that's kind of how it comes across. Rock and roll. And it's just fun sing-along stuff. The whole crowd was into it. A lot of fun. Saw some friends there. Haven't seen in a while. Got to catch up with some friends. Overall, great night. And here it goes again. It's telling me something. Oh, you know what? It's because I know what it is. It's my bag of lunch. It thinks that it's so heavy that it thinks it's a human sitting in the seat and there's no seatbelt on. So it thinks it doesn't have its seatbelt on. Don't worry, car. My lunch is safe. So anyway, that was my update of last night. And like I said, if you go, if the Violent Femmes are coming to your town, make sure you go see it. You won't be let down. It'll be a lot of fun. They sound awesome. Everyone still sounds great. They don't look like, you know, my daughter on the way there was like, how old are these guys gonna be? You know, she's just at that age where like she doesn't feel comfortable, I guess, watching a bunch of like 50-year-old men rocking out. I don't know. She definitely felt that way when I took her to see Bob Dylan. She was like, oh my God, he's so old. And I think she kind of felt that way at the Rolling Stones too, even though those guys made me exhausted. The amount of energy those 70-year-old men were displaying in their performance. Holy cow. Anyway, that's my morning update for you guys. I will talk to you later. Let's get you both in front of this thing here.
In front of that?
No,
in front of this?
No.
The washer.
Between these two.
That's what I thought.
Yes,
okay.
yes. And I gotta move. This whole setup is all very, very alien to me as far as
I'm
my
sure you
usual
just had
setup.
to move.
Like, yeah, it was. You made the call.
What was it, roof leakage? Or?
Yeah, they said it was the AC
Leaking from pipes
Could
or
have
something?
been.
Yeah, it leaked through the ceiling and.
Didn't damage your equipment, did
No. Luckily it happened like kind of where you guys would be standing.
it? You're
in the
so
room.
lucky.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it just kind of missed everything, but then the floor's all soaked and it smells all funky in there, and nobody wants to stand in that. All right, so let's take a deep breath. I want you to think about the happiest place you've been this summer. Hopefully it was dry. It's beautiful. Think of the happiest place you've been this summer. I want you both to go there. Hopefully it's the same place with each other. Doesn't necessarily have to be.
It was for
What
me,
were you
honey.
thinking? I was thinking the Virgin Islands.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Ah.
I was actually thinking at your house in Iowa with your photos.
Sweet.
Okay. I'm not getting anything special.
All right. So I want you to think about that. There we go. Now, I want you to do my trick. I'm gonna come down a little bit. All right, are you ready for the world's worst unboxing video? All right. Guess what this is? I'll give you one guess. You know what it is. I already told you. This. My brand new iPhone 7 Plus. I'm not gonna open it up. That's as much unboxing as you get. There's no point in me opening it up. I can't set it up yet because I have to work. But I will set it up tonight. Very unexciting to see someone set up a phone. Anyway, but I just thought it'd be cool. And then this is really exciting. See that tape? See that tape? The greatest photo store ever. And this, my friends, is going to be my new main camera. as far as everything outside of the studio. This will be my main field camera. The XT2. Yeah, babes. It's just awesome. Fuji also does an amazing job at packaging their shit. Look at this. Look at that. How sweet is that? Feels nice. Nice matte black cardboard. Beautifully packaged. Look at that. You can like look through it. Like, hi! What a weirdo! Oh my goodness. The car looks like trashed right now. There it is. That's what we care about right here. Look at that. See that? You see this? You'll notice most unboxing videos are totally full of crap unless they have that Fuji tape, that tampered tape. There we go. Look at that camera. Oh, it's like an old friend that just went through like a major life transition, like an old friend you haven't seen that lost like 50 pounds, and then they come back and you're like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize you were that good looking. I love my XT1, but it has a borked sensor. It had laser damage to the sensor, so there's parts of the sensor that have just they look like permanent dust on the sensor, but it shows up no matter what aperture you're in. If any of that makes sense to you, then you know that sucks. This, on the other hand, look at this. It's just a thing of beauty. Look at all these things they've changed. They put a little lock on the tilt screen, and the screen goes more than one way now. And the dials are a little different. They have these little locks on them. It feels perfect in my hand. This is my favorite camera I've ever owned. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say this. I've just opened it. The XT1 was my favorite camera that I've ever owned, and I beat the living shit out of it. It looks like it's been through a war, and but it still works too. You know, I'm still able to take great pictures with it. But I use primarily my wide-angle lens, my ultra-wide-angle lens on that camera, and I use my XE2 for anything that involves people, like with a 35mm or 56mm lens. So I don't get that weird blotch on their faces. With the ultra-wide-angle lens, if I'm taking pictures of large groups or interior shots or landscape stuff with it, those tiny blotches are so that you don't even know they're there. Like, you'd be hard to find them in a ultra-wide-angle shot. But in anything with detail like that you're focusing on, like a portrait, it becomes it's very obvious. This will now become my all-purpose camera again, and they fixed the biggest problem I had with the XT1, and that's simply this cover here now has a latch. For the memory card on the XT1, it does not have a latch, and while you're shooting, it kept popping off. So I'd go to grab it, and I'm like, it's just hanging out. Same thing with this side. It was like a rubber piece of plastic. Now it's hard, but the rubber over time didn't fit. It like expanded. It didn't fit over the opening, and you couldn't. My XT1, I can't close it. It's like forced in, and I have tape holding the grips on. Have gaff tape all over my camera holding the gripping on, because it all expanded as I used it. Like it got bigger. I don't know how that happens. But now it's perfect because it's been replaced. I do love my XT1 though. That thing is so it's just so beaten up and has so much character that I hope this thing is as glorious as all the previous reviewers have said it is. Everyone is saying that this is one of the best cameras they've ever owned. Now, of course, they haven't owned it very long, so when you say something like that, you got to think that you need to take it with a grain of salt. But for anyone who owns an XT1, that camera is so amazing that I can imagine the minor improvements and major improvements of this camera are all just going to make the experience that much better. So I could see where someone would say it's their favorite camera of all time. Why not? Because the camera becomes an extension of you. You know? The camera doesn't take pictures. You take the pictures. And you don't want the camera to get in the way. And if the camera feels like an extension of your body, where you don't have to think about it, then that's a good camera. And that's the way I felt about my XT1. So I will keep you updated. Talk to you later. All right, let's go. We're gonna do some yoga in the park. So I'm at the North Charleston Riverfront Park, and this event has been postponed about 3 times this month because of weather. We finally have a nice day. Look at this blue sky. There's King of Pops. There's some yoga. And that thing. That was a lot of fun, and this is probably the last video I'll take on this phone. Well, this is an amazing night. I only turned on the camera just because, look at this shit. I mean, seriously, look behind me. Can you believe this? It's unbelievable. It's beautiful out. Just wanted to share that with you because, God, that's just awesome. Look, I'm invoking that God person thing. So, here, I'm going to be a good citizen and throw my popsicle stick in the garbage. Anyway, so I hope you have a fantastic evening. I hope that you get, if you're home, that you're safe. And if you're going home, that you get there safely. And if you're going out, party hard. I don't know. Good night.